Have you ever noticed a new spot on your skin? Or an old one that just seems a little different? Perhaps you just shrugged it off, thinking, oh, it's just a new freckle. Or, that's probably nothing to worry about. We all do it, don't we? Life gets busy, and it's easy to overlook those tiny whispers our bodies send us. But what if one of those whispers isn't just a whisper, but a quiet warning sign? A silent message from your own skin that something serious might be brewing beneath the surface. The painful reality is that skin cancer, especially melanoma, the most dangerous kind, can often start small and subtly, easily dismissed until it's much more challenging to treat. It's a silent threat because it doesn't always scream for attention in its early stages. Many people simply aren't aware of what to look for, and that lack of awareness can have truly devastating consequences. But there's a secret, a powerful tool you already possess that can make all the difference: your own watchful eyes and a little bit of knowledge. In this video, we're going to uncover those silent signs on your skin, the ones you absolutely need to know about. We'll go through exactly what to look for, giving you the confidence to spot changes that might signal something needs attention. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about how simple it is to protect yourself and turn the tide against this hidden danger. Let's dive right into what your skin might be trying to tell you. Starting with the most important framework for spotting potential melanoma, a method often referred to as the ABCDEs. Imagine for a moment that you're looking at a photograph of a beautiful, perfectly round mole you've had for years. It's symmetrical. Its edges are smooth. It's one consistent shade of brown, and it hasn't changed a bit. That's generally a healthy mole. Now, think about one that starts to look a bit off. The first letter, A, stands for asymmetry. If you were to draw a line right down the middle of a suspicious mole, would one half match the other a normal, healthy mole? Usually will, but a mole that's asymmetric, where one side looks distinctly different from the other, like a misshapen puddle instead of a perfect circle, that's a red flag. It's like trying to fold a piece of paper in half and finding one side is much larger or shaped differently than the other. This lack of balance is often one of the earliest hints your skin might give you. Then we move to B, which is for border irregularity. Healthy moles tend to have smooth, well-defined borders. They're neat and tidy. But a suspicious mole might have edges that are ragged, notched, blurred, or even appear to fade into the surrounding skin. Think of it like the coastline of a map. Healthy moles have a clear, smooth shore. A problematic spot might have a jagged, undefined border, almost as if someone tried to draw it with a shaky hand. This uneven, ill-defined edge is a key characteristic to watch for because it's not how typical, harmless moles behave. Don't dismiss a spot just because it feels small, if its border is playing tricks on your eyes. It's worth a closer look. Our next crucial letter is C, for color variation. This is a big one. Normal moles usually have a single, uniform color, perhaps a solid brown or black. But if you see a mole that has multiple colors within it, that's a serious cause for concern. We're talking about shades of tan, brown, and black, but also sometimes patches of red, white, or even blue. Imagine a painter mixing several different shades on one small canvas. That kind of inconsistent coloring is highly suspicious. It's not about how dark it is, but how many different colors are present within that one spot. Perhaps one part is light brown, another section is dark black, and there's a hint of red along one edge. This kaleidoscope of colors is a strong indicator that something is amiss. Following that is D, for diameter. This refers to the size of the mole. While any size of mole can be a melanoma, especially if it's evolving, a diameter greater than 6 millimeters, roughly the size of a pencil eraser, is a common red flag. Most healthy moles are smaller than this. So, if you have a spot that's larger than a pencil eraser, it deserves extra scrutiny. Don't get me wrong, plenty of larger moles are perfectly harmless. But when combined with any of the other ABC signs, A larger size adds another layer of concern. It's about the overall picture. If you've got a larger spot that also has an irregular border or multiple colors, that's definitely something you want to highlight. And finally, perhaps the most critical letter of all, is E for evolving. This means any change whatsoever in an existing mole or lesion. Has it changed in size? Has its shape altered? Has its color deepened, lightened, or developed new shades? Is it starting to itch, bleed, crust, or become tender? Any evolution or change over time is the most significant warning sign. Perhaps it was flat, and now it's raised. Maybe it used to be a faint brown spot, and now it's a much darker, growing lump. Even if a mole seems to fit the normal criteria for A, B, C, and D, but it's changing. That change is the most powerful indicator of potential trouble. It's your skin literally evolving, and not in a good way. The story here isn't just about what a spot looks like today, but what it looked like yesterday, last month, or last year. That's why regular self-checks are so vital. They help you notice these subtle shifts. So, take a good look at your skin, head to toe, in a well-lit room, using a full-length mirror and a hand mirror for those hard-to-see areas like your back, scalp, and the soles of your feet. Don't forget between your toes, under your nails, and even in your armpits. If something just looks different from everything else on your body, or if it's changing, it's worth getting professional advice. Now, while the ABCDEs are vital for spotting melanoma, there are other types of skin cancer that show up differently and need our attention just as much. Let's look at those. Beyond those tricky moles, there are other sneaky spots that deserve our attention, often appearing as persistent bumps or sores rather than dark, evolving moles. These are typically basal cell carcinoma, or BCC, and squamous cell carcinoma, or SCC, which are the most common types of skin cancer. While they don't spread as aggressively as melanoma, they still need prompt treatment, especially since they can cause significant local damage if left unchecked. Let's talk about basal cell carcinoma first. Imagine you've got a small, pearly or waxy bump on your skin, perhaps on your nose, ear, or forehead, areas that get a lot of sun. It might look like a flesh-colored mole, or even a persistent pimple that just won't heal. Sometimes, it might appear as a flat, flesh-colored or brown scar-like lesion. The key here is its persistence. You might think, oh, it's just a stubborn spot. But it's been there for weeks or months, perhaps even bleeding a little, crusting over, and then reappearing. It's often translucent, meaning you can almost see through it. And sometimes you can even spot tiny blood vessels running through it, which is a classic sign. It doesn't necessarily itch or hurt, which makes it easy to ignore. I remember hearing a story about a gentleman who had a small, shiny bump on his cheek for over a year. He thought it was just a strange blemish. His wife finally convinced him to get it checked, and it turned out to be a BCC. It was removed, thankfully. But it goes to show how easily these can be mistaken for something harmless because they don't always behave like a typical cancer. The important takeaway for BCCs is to watch out for any persistent, non-healing sore, or a new growth that looks pearly, waxy, or scar-like. Next up, we have squamous cell carcinoma, or SCC. This type often appears as a firm, red nodule, or a flat lesion with a scaly, crusted surface. Think of it like a persistent patch of rough, red skin that might bleed easily when scratched. Unlike some BCCs, SCCs can sometimes be tender or painful to the touch. They're also very common on sun-exposed areas like the face, lips, ears, hands, and arms. Sometimes, it can look like a wart that just won't go away, or an open sore that heals and then reopens. It can also look like a chronic rough patch that you might mistake for dry skin or eczema, but it just doesn't respond to moisturizers or typical treatments. I recall a lady who had a rough, scaly patch on her ear for months, attributing it to sun damage from her gardening days. When it started to bleed frequently, she finally got it looked at. And it was an SCC, like BCCs. If caught early, SCCs are highly treatable. But their persistent, non-healing nature is the key red flag. Don't assume a rough patch or a sore that lingers for more than a few weeks is just a minor irritation. Beyond these specific types, there are general warning signs for any spot on your skin that you should pay attention to. If a mole or spot starts to itch, become tender, or cause pain, even without any visible changes, it's worth a look. Bleeding or oozing from a spot, especially if it's not due to an injury, is always a serious concern. A sore that doesn't heal within a few weeks, or one that repeatedly heals and then reopens, no matter how small, is a classic sign of non-melanoma skin cancers. And here's a really helpful tip: the ugly duckling sign. Look at all your moles. Does one stand out from the rest? Does one look significantly different from your other moles and spots? If it's the ugly duckling in the group, it warrants special attention. It's not blending in. And that difference can be a signal. Furthermore, any new growth, spot, or mole that appears after age 50 should be viewed with a greater degree of suspicion than those that have been present since youth. Our skin continues to change as we age, but new, unusual growths warrant professional evaluation. Understanding what to look for and actively checking your skin is the first giant leap towards protecting yourself. But what do we do once we've spotted something concerning? And how can we tilt the odds in our favor even before a spot appears? The absolute most important thing to remember is this: if you notice any of the signs we've talked about, an asymmetrical mole, one with an irregular border or varied colors, a spot larger than a pencil eraser, or any mole that's changing or evolving in any way, or if you see a pearly, waxy bump, a persistent sore that doesn't heal, or a red, scaly patch, don't panic, but do take action. Your immediate next step is to schedule an appointment with a dermatologist or your general practitioner. They are the experts who can properly assess the spot and, if necessary, perform a biopsy to determine if it's cancerous. Early detection is everything when it comes to skin cancer, transforming a potentially serious diagnosis into a highly treatable condition. So, let's briefly recap. Remember the ABCDEs for moles: asymmetry, irregular borders, varied colors, large diameter, and most importantly, anything evolving. And for other types of skin cancer, look for those pearly or waxy bumps that don't go away, or persistent red, scaly patches and sores that heal and then reappear. These aren't just minor irritations, they're silent whispers that deserve your full attention. The reassurance here is profound: the vast majority of spots on your skin are harmless. But knowing what to look for, and acting quickly if something seems amiss, truly empowers you. You are your own best advocate. And by becoming familiar with your skin, you're giving yourself the gift of early detection. Now, for that surprise I mentioned at the beginning, something simple that can make a huge difference in protecting your self-prevention. While we've focused on what to look for, the most powerful tool in your arsenal against skin cancer is actually preventing it from forming in the first place, or at least significantly reducing your risk. It's remarkably straightforward. The sun, as wonderful as it feels, is the primary culprit in most skin cancers. So, the surprising simplicity lies in smart sun protection. This means reaching for broad-spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher every single day, even on cloudy days, and reapplying it every 2 hours, or more often if you're swimming or sweating. But it's not just about sunscreen. It's about seeking shade, especially during the peak sun hours between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. It's about wearing protective clothing, long-sleeved shirts, wide-brimmed hats, and sunglasses when you're outdoors for extended periods. These seemingly small habits are incredibly powerful in reducing your lifetime risk of developing skin cancer. They're not complicated, they don't require expensive equipment, and they can be woven seamlessly into your daily life. Taking these proactive steps gives you a sense of control and significantly tilts the odds in your favor, ensuring your skin remains healthy for years to come. Your skin tells a story, and by listening closely to its silent signs, and by embracing simple preventative measures, you're taking incredible care of yourself. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. We'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had a spot checked that turned out to be something? Or perhaps something harmless that taught you to be vigilant? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story could help someone else who's feeling worried or unsure. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe to our channel for more valuable insights and practical tips to help you live your best life at every age, confidently and with peace of mind.